Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Live with NORML. I'm J.M. Padini, the Development Director for the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. It's Friday, October 6, 2023. Welcome back, everyone. Super excited to be here. Happy Friday. Hope you're ready for a great holiday weekend. Hope you're ready to come see us at a fundraiser tomorrow in Leesburg, Virginia. Hey, tell me where you're watching from. I can see you're watching. Where are you watching from? Hello, Nigel. You were first. Welcome, friends. All right, we have a little bit of news to talk about this week. Happy Thanksgiving, Nigel. Hey, Jim, good to see you in Destin. Hey, Jeff in Indiana. Hey, Andrew in Portland. Rick in Scranton. Hey, Robert in Clarksburg. Legal, Maryland. Hey, Tanya on the Eastern Shore. Marie, Mississippi. Sorry, friend. Hey, Mike, welcome back. Good to see you. How's Anaheim treating you? Hello, Evergreen Panda. I love the names that you all have. You're very entertaining. In Lynchburg, all right. Hey, Michael in Humboldt. That must be delightful. Hey, John in Rich Creek. Hey, John. Hey, other John. Good to see you. Hey, Jesse in Erie. Hey, Nigel in Canada. Oh, thank you, Nigel, for explaining that to me. It is Thanksgiving in Canada on Monday. Happy early Thanksgiving to everyone in Canada. Wade, good to see you. What did you miss? Nothing yet, friend, because you're here so early this week, just like me. Let's talk about some things that happened. Let's kind of rewind a little bit to last week. Hey, Don in Alabama. I hope you're connected with Alabama NORML. All right. So, one day I'm going to start remembering that I have to do these things myself. All right. Last week, I'm looking at the calendar like, is that how time works? Yes, it is. It is, in fact, how time works, Jam. All right. Last week, members of the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs voted to advance the Safer Banking Act, marking the first time the Senate has ever advanced a cannabis banking reform bill. So check that out, will you? Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Hey, good to see you here, friend, and going to be great to see you tomorrow in person at the fundraiser. For those of you who heard me talking about it earlier, going to drop that information for you in the chat. We'll be at Ink Sanity Tattoo in Leesburg, Virginia tomorrow, starting at noon. And yes, Sherry, we're very excited. Hey, Diana, in either Louisiana or Los Angeles, one of the LAs. It's 93 there, Mike. That sounds terrible. Hey, Scott in Ohio. Scott, you getting everyone ready to vote in Ohio? Yes on issue 2. Hey, Ellie. Thank you for that reminder, Ellie. Early voting is open in Virginia. All House and Senate seats in the state level are up for grabs in the Virginia General Assembly, and the outcome of this election will determine the future of cannabis policy in the Commonwealth. Now, there's really a limit on what can happen under the Youngkin administration. He's still governor next year, regardless of the House and Senate. Um, but that being said, there are essentially three flavors of what can happen. You could have a Democratic controlled House and Senate in Virginia. You could. And then there would be a path for a bill for retail sales for adults to make it to the governor's desk. And then hopefully he would ignore it and let it take effect. Or the legislature could remain divided with one chamber controlled by Democrats and one controlled by Republicans, the way it is now. And nothing will continue to happen. It will just be a stalemate. Or Republicans could control both chambers. And then you could see some really terrible legislative action where they try to walk back a lot of the recent progress that's been made on cannabis policy. So it's up to you, Virginia voters, just like it's up to you, Ohio voters. How legal is cannabis going to be in your state? Get to the polls. Hey, Matthew in St. Charles. Hey, John. Welcome back. Thank you for clarifying, Diana. Hello, other John in Michigan. Hello, Michelle in Richmond. Good to see you. Hey, Daniel. Steven, your first live. I love it. Let's go. All right, let's talk about some more things. Hey, Ohio, we were just talking about Ohio a second ago, and good news about Ohio. There were two polls done recently, and in both polls, a majority of Ohioans favored the passage of issue 2. This, of course, comes as no surprise to those of us here at NORML. I'm going to drop a link to this story in the chat for you right now so you can read it for yourself. There you go. Yeah, of course, this comes as no surprise to you that voters support legalization over prohibition. What's great news for Ohio is that voters appear to be supportive of this initiative in particular. So make sure everyone you know who's a voter in Ohio get into the polls to vote yes on issue 2. You can find out more information about that in NORML's Election Central. And if I were better prepared, I'd have that all ready for you, but I don't, so I've got to typey it. Look how quick I am. There you go. You can find out all the information on ballot initiatives around the country, which is really just in Ohio right now. But you can check all that out in NORML's Election Central, as well as find the link to NORML's voting guide, Smoke Vote, and information on how to check your voter registration. Make sure you're registered, request an absentee ballot, update your information if you need to. We got all that for you and more. Matthew, we did talk about SAFER a little bit ago. In case you missed it, I'll drop the link back in the chat for you, friend. But on the 27th of September, okay. On the 27th of September, members of the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs voted to advance the Safer Banking Act, which of course would allow financial institutions to more readily establish relationships with state licensed cannabis businesses. Now, this is the first time that the Senate has advanced a federal cannabis banking reform bill. More info right there for you in the link I just dropped in the chat for you. I don't know why we're talking about Morels? I can't wait to find out, though. Of course. Of course, it's a great quote by Paul. Of course it is. Hey, Dwayne, happy Friday. Let's find out, Matthew. Let's find out together. I think they could. They sure could. They could. They sure could. All right, let's skip ahead to this week. Fast forward. I know which one of these four, I have 4 stories for you, and I know which one you're going to like the most. And we're going to vote at the end with emoji. I'm going to do it last, though. Hey, what's going to come is absolutely zero surprise to you all. Hey, Jasmine in Richmond. Me too. Right here in Scott's Edition. There is no significant changes in cannabis use or adverse consequences amongst high-risk young adults or young adults in general following legalization. This is one more study, just add onto the pile of studies that are reporting similar information. Check that out. There you go. All of these are very like, oh, hey, remember the gajillion other studies we've shown you that say these things? Here's another one. So this is going to be quick. Matthew, thank you for sending your letters in support of pending legislation. If you all want to be awesome like Matthew, and of course you do, you can send emails to your members of Congress with just a few clicks. Literally takes no time at all. I just dropped a link in the chat for you, but otherwise you're going to go to norml.org/act. It's that simple. Get on our website, click the Take Action button. There's like 5 action alerts at the top of that page. Send them all. Send them all. Tell your members of Congress, whether you like them or not, that you want them to prioritize cannabis policy. Dwayne. Oh, Dwayne, I want to be gracious. I want to be kind and gracious right now. I understand that might come as a shock to some people, but I see your comment and question. And undoubtedly, you saw my response, which is, yes, the Cannabis Control Authority in Virginia put out a toolkit for parents. I know this is one of their most requested fact sheets that they've been putting together, and they put together what they're calling the toolkit for parents. It's a PDF. It does have some information in there that's useful. It's a great initial resource. I will tell you that, so you can look at it on their website. I encourage you to attend their meeting this month as well. Thank you, Dwayne. All right, getting back to the news as promised. We've got another set of studies that we covered this week where, again, unsurprisingly, 1 in 6 cancer patients reported using cannabis to help manage their symptoms like pain, stress, anxiety, nausea, to improve sleep and improve appetite. These are 2 different studies that are covered in this article I just shared. So, again, useful information, particularly for oncologists who need to know what their patients are actually doing. And remember, a lot of patients aren't comfortable, even patients in legal states aren't comfortable sharing that information with their clinicians. All right, we're getting through it because guess what? Here comes another one. Tamara, I hope you're watching, friend, because of course I thought of you when I saw this. There is a product, a prescription medication, that's what I want to say, that's available not in the United States, but otherwise around the world. It's called Sativex. It's a mouth spray. It's like equal parts THC and CBD. And it's primarily prescribed for muscle spasticity, particularly related to multiple sclerosis. So this analysis that we cover in this one indicates that about 80% of MS patients suffering from severe spasticity did experience dramatic reductions in their symptoms when they started treatment with Sativex. So I don't know why that didn't go on. Oh, maybe it did, and it just has a problem. Whatever. Please wait a moment and try again. I will not try again. Good, Dwayne. I'm glad you're sending people to the medical program. All right. Listen, this is the story. I know you all are you're gonna love this one. It's the last one I got for you this week. Not love it in like a warm, fuzzy way, but this one kind of takes the cake. All right. There was an analysis done in which it was done over the data were from a 10-year time frame. And in this 10-year time frame, there were 94,000 searches that were reviewed in this analysis. And what it revealed is that over these 10 years, the overwhelming majority of these searches with drug sniffing dogs failed to identify the presence of any illegal substances. Not that the dogs didn't alert, the dogs did alert, but the searches didn't result in any illicit substances. And it is it's 75% of the time drug sniffing dogs were falsely alerting, according to the results of this analysis. And it's not a tiny analysis. It's looking at 10 years, 10 years of data. Yeah. 10 years of data, 94,000 searches, 75% failure rate. Hey, Dwayne, and that's something else that we talk about in here. So the findings of this analysis were actually consistent with previous studies that had been done. In fact, there was one that the Chicago Tribune did like 12 years ago. And that one similarly reported that drug sniffing dogs false alerted over more than half of the time, and that they were most likely to do so in instances where the suspect was Latinx. Another study that was published in a journal reported that drug dogs frequently alert when their handlers are the ones believing that they're going to find illicit substances. In fact, those study authors said handler beliefs affect outcomes of scent detection dog deployments. So, yeah, there might be some truth to that, Dwayne. And in particular, it's that there seems to be a general presumption that the handler's beliefs or biases may be affecting dogs' behavior. One thing's for sure, they're not good at finding drugs in the field. All right, that was it. That was the whole news. We did it. We did all the newses. Good job, everyone. Oh, hey, Rick. What's the holdup in Pennsylvania? Well, let's have another go round in the next legislative session and see what shakes out, shall we? People run on all kinds of things. That doesn't mean they follow through, but that's why it's so important for you to continue to contact your elected officials. They're very loud in the hallway. So you just have to reach out. Whether you voted for these people or not, once they're in office, they represent you. So make sure you're reaching out. And I'm gonna go peek at Pennsylvania for you right now, because I did think we have this up, Rick, and we do. There is an action alert for legalization. In just 1 second, Rick, I am dropping that in the chat for you right now, so you can click and send an email in support of this legislation. Hello, silent type in Colorado. You're welcome, Rick. On our Take Action page, which again is norml.org/act, we have the federal priorities at the top, so you can just click and write your members of Congress really quickly. But then below that, you're going to see a map, and you can click on your state, and if there is any pending legislation or campaigns, then you can just click on the state. It'll take you right to it, right to the list of action alerts. For example, there are a number of bills pending in New York. In many states, the legislative cycle is over. In some states, you have year-round legislation. So you'll see some states are completely empty, but there are still plenty of states that have pending legislation or other outreach initiatives where you can click and send a message to your state legislators. So I encourage you to do that. All right, we talked about the fundraiser coming up. I'm going to tell you about it again in a minute. Hey, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And Scott, maybe you're better at every than I am. But listen, Wednesdays at 7 p.m., South Carolina NORML does their weekly live stream. It streams on YouTube. You can check that out. The link I just dropped in the comments for you. Yes, John Walter, you are asking me a question, and I am telling you that answer right now. I can tell you that Ben, the deputy director for Virginia NORML, is working on, he has personally sent a candidate survey to every incumbent and every candidate who's not, every candidate has received a survey from Ben personally, and he is working on putting all of their responses into the voter guide. So I just dropped that link in the chat for you, John. It's vote.norml.org. Of course, you're going to click on Virginia, and then you'll see the general election. Ben is also working on grading people. So if there isn't a grade and you're just not certain, feel free to send an email to info@virginianormal.org, spelled out, info@virginia-normal.org. I'd say you could send a message on Facebook, and Ben usually sees those as well. but just reach out if you're not certain. He is working his way through getting all of the grades up um, on the voter guide and their responses as well. So hopefully we've done a whole lot of that homework for you, John. Todd, look, I'm psyched to hear that Killer Mike wants to legalize adult use in Georgia. So does NORML. We'd love for someone like him to support our work. We'd love for someone like him to encourage people to vote, because that's why you have terrible laws in Georgia, because people vote poorly. Hey, Billy, that's an interesting question. No, I don't think we necessarily have dollar amounts on what each state spends on things like helicopters. I was thinking about the uniform crime reporting that happens through the FBI and whether or not that is including any data like that, but I don't think it is. That'd be interesting to know. I bet some Googling could find us out some things like that. Hey, vet maps in Oklahoma City. Dwayne, we'd love for you to place some NORML info in your shop. In fact, oh, you just reminded me that I probably need to bring one of these tomorrow. God, wow, I hope I have one that's good. So these are old. Well, this isn't what I want, but look, we have little signs that you can put up. They must already be packed. We have little signs that you can put up in your wherever. This is from an old campaign, so it's not going to be this one. But we have signs like this that we can I can just send you the PDF, you can print it out and stick it up, and then people can scan the QR code and do things like subscribe to our email or get information on laws in wherever you are, or they could, take action on certain legislation. So hit me up, Dwayne. Send me an email at chapters@norml.org, and I'll get you the right flavor sign for your establishment. Great, Vet Maps. I'm so glad to hear that you had a victory. Awesome. See what happens when you go to the Capitol, get stuff done. It's amazing what you can do just by showing up. All right. Again, friends, tomorrow we'll be in Leesburg, Virginia at Ink Sanity Tattoo. It says 12 to 7, but I think it's really 12 to 6. So don't come late. Come early. Get specially priced cannabis tattoo flash, arms and legs only. They'll also have a lot of artisans and vendors there. They have a food truck coming, so you can come support Virginia NORML, get a tattoo, and do some holiday shopping and have a snack all at the same time. That's a lot. Come do it. Thank you, Sherry, thank you, 12 to 7. I felt like maybe I'd made that up. All right. Coming up next week, Yes, coming up next week. So you get to hear about it one more time after this. Coming up next week, October 17th. I guess it's 2 weeks, whatever. You don't care. Is the Canna Health Symposium with Kentucky NORML. This is at WKU in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's in person, October 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern. I just shared a link with you with more info. If you're in Kentucky, go see Lauren. Thank you, South Carolina Cannabis Coalition, for sharing this delightful story. Wow, none of this is surprising. South Carolina Cannabis Coalition says a Georgia police helicopter once spotted what they thought was an illegal grow, and they conducted a raid, and it turned out to be okra. I don't even know what okra looks like, but it can't possibly look that similar to cannabis, can it? It seems like that'd be a long-standing joke if it did. All right, and then I got one more to tell y'all about, and that's the NORML Key West Legal Seminar. This is coming up November 30th through December 2nd, and you guessed it, Key West, Florida. If you are an attorney and you need continuing legal education credits, we got you. Fully accredited in every state that requires CLEs. And if you're not an attorney, it's still an excellent way to relax with old friends and make some new ones, celebrate personal freedom, work our way from prohibition to cannabis legalization across the United States, as well as to get connected with some pretty amazing legal experts. So, yes, okra is a plant. So it's a plant. So it's a plant that looks like a plant, and that's what you're telling me, John. It looks like a plant, and because it looked like a plant, it was suspicious. Okra's just out there looking all suspicious all the time, being a plant. Apparently in Georgia it is. All right, friends. Hey, you know what comes out tomorrow? Is the weekend weed read. And we talk about this every week, and then I forget to give you the link to subscribe. But you're going to want to subscribe because it's great. And it's usually kind of funny because I think I'm funny. The weekend weed read delivers every Saturday between 9 and 9:15 a.m. Make sure you visit the link and you click the box for weekend weed read so it hits your inbox. Billy, you better watch out if you're planting some okra. Apparently it's easily mistaken for other plants. Be careful. Make good choices. Just like Sherry's, well, okay, just like I said a lot for like a whole year. So much so that Sherry painted this and sent it to the office and is now hosting a fundraiser for us tomorrow at Insanity Tattoo. Oh, watch out, Cody. I don't know where you are, but keep an eye on that okra. Looks suspicious. Thank you, Richard. Richard, I am not surprised that you're here to tell me what okra looks like. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Cody, you watch out in Ohio with your dangerous okra. All right, friends. Hey, if you can't join us in Leesburg tomorrow, but you still got a little interested there when I mentioned holiday shopping, now is a great time to get all of your holiday gifts from the NORML store. You can help legalize it just by shopping. It's not going to be great. Get some hoodies, or if you're in Florida, get some more short sleeve t-shirts. Hello, Esther. Thanks for joining us. Oh, unless you're doing weird stuff, in which case, no, actually, no thank you. That's not the button I want. We have to say goodbye to Esther. Whew. Listen, Cody, the good news about Ohio, okay, is that you have issue 2 on the ballot. It might not be where you want, your state laws might not be where you want them to be right now. That's why you, Cody, need to get everyone you know to vote yes on issue 2 this November. You have the chance to legalize Ohio. You have the chance again to legalize Ohio. Make good choices, friends. Let's do it. We can do it. We can legalize Ohio. Get everyone there to the polls, voting yes on issue 2. All right, friends, this has been a blast, but you know what I got to do? I got to go get all the stuff ready for Insanity. Thank you, Cody. I'm glad you'll be there, ready to vote, early voting October 10th. Awesome. All right, everyone. This has been a blast. Hey, wherever you're watching, make sure you hit that like, follow, or subscribe button so you never miss when NORML goes live. We try to do this every Friday at 4. And I'd love to see you back here next time. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And I'll see you back here. Bye-bye.